The Instagram algorithm has recently changed, and you need to change the sounds that you're using, the type of content you're creating, and 2 other secret things that I'm going to share with you towards the end of this video, because I will warn you, if you don't begin to change these things, you're going to start to see a decrease in the amount of views that you're actually getting on Instagram. And I know a lot of you are already starting to see this, but if you simply just make the changes that I share with you, you're going to see your views and the amount of followers that you get on Instagram right now skyrocket. In fact, I just helped this creator gain over 80,000 followers after struggling to grow, implementing his tips, literally gained over 80,000 followers, and this creator over 25,000 followers, and they were in the same exact boat that you're in right now. But first, I need you to smash that subscribe button. If you want to grow quicker on Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube, or you want to learn how to make money from these platforms, I literally upload a video about how to do that every single day. In addition to that, here's my phone number. Please shoot me a text message. And then finally, if you go to the link in the pinned comment below, you can get my free Instagram growth course that'll tell you the best time to post on Instagram right now and the best hashtags to be using, because those have also changed, but unfortunately, I'm not gonna have time to cover that in this video. First and foremost, Instagram is now reintroducing trending sounds. In fact, they are literally going to tell you if a sound is trending. Here's a screenshot right here that shows you whether or not a sound is trending on Instagram. You'll see the little trending bar. The sound that you're about to use does not have this, and I would strongly suggest skipping that sound and using a different one. The reason being is because you either want to use no sound or you want to make sure that you're using a trending sound. The worst thing that you could be doing on Instagram right now, and I see so many small channels doing this, which is a reason that they're not getting the views or the followers that either they once were or that they see their competitors getting, is because they're not using trending sounds. You need to realize Instagram wants you to do one of 2 things right now. Either 1, use a trending sound that is tagged as a trending sound, or use an original sound. If you were to look at my last Instagram algorithm update video, you should have only been using original sounds, but now that they've introduced this, you need to make sure that you're paying attention to whether or not it's trending, but that's not the only thing. The next thing is that Instagram is begun pushing photos again, but not just any photos. They're pushing carousels, which is why I strongly recommend that you begin putting out carousels. Now, the way that you want to do a carousel is you want people to swipe all the way through to the end. That is the actual metric that they're looking for. They're looking for 1, people clicking on the carousel. These are mainly going to be shown in the Explore feed, but then more importantly, they want to see people engaging with it. And I'm not talking about liking it. I'm not talking about commenting on it. I'm not talking about saving it. Of course, if they share it, that's great, but what Instagram ultimately wants to see is that you got somebody to swipe multiple times, and ideally it's going to have 3 to 5 slides on it. You don't want to have any more than that. You don't want to have any less than that, because if you have less than that, you're not actually going to get enough engagement. And if you have more than that, the odds of you actually getting somebody to go all the way through to the last slide are slim to none. And that's why a lot of you guys aren't having success with these. So I strongly recommend that you switch it up. In addition to that, your first slide needs to be something that really hooks somebody in. It needs to get their attention. This is an absolutely amazing way for you guys to do something meme-like, or if you guys to do something newsworthy within your niche. Or on top of that, you should also be trying to do something like, here 5 productivity hacks, or whatever the case is, where people know that they have to get all 5 of them. What you want to do is make sure that you deliver in the first few, because you want them to get all the way through to the end. The third thing that you need to make sure that you're doing right now is co-posts as much as humanly possible. Co-posts on Reels are getting pushed on the Reels feed more than anything else right now, because they are going to 2 people's follower bases, and then Instagram is really easily able to find an additional audience that might be interested in that, and then they can share it to that additional audience. If you aren't taking advantage of these, you need to begin doing it. You could do it with creators that are smaller than you. You can do it with your own other account. If you look at somebody like the Nelk Boys, they literally do this all the time. They'll do it with whoever's in the video and themselves, and they'll do a co-post, and this is why they get so much engagement. This is why they're growing so quickly on Instagram, and you can take advantage of the same exact thing. Like I said, you don't have to do it with somebody that's famous. It could literally be with somebody with less followers than you, or the same amount of followers as you. Ideally though, you guys want to be in a similar niche or a complementary niche. You don't want to do it with somebody that has absolutely nothing to do with what you're doing. For example, if you're a fitness person, you don't want to do it with a woman's fashion if you're a men's fitness person, you don't want to do it with somebody in women's fashion. The reason being is because their people aren't going to want to engage with that, and your people aren't going to want to engage with them, and you kind of get nothing out of it. So I strongly recommend that you guys begin implementing that, but we can't stop there. There's one other thing that you need to make sure that you're doing with this latest Instagram algorithm, and that is that you actually understand something. In order to get 100,000 views on a video, it's got to be something that 100,000 people are actually interested in. For a lot of you, the posts that you're doing on Instagram Reels right now just aren't attracting that large of an audience. They're not attracting that large of an audience because nobody actually cares about the thing that you're talking about, which is why you need to make sure that you're doing a few things differently. First, you need to be pre-qualifying things before you post about them. If it's a topic that nobody has ever spoken about before on Instagram and gotten a lot of views, well then your post probably isn't going to do that well. The second thing you need to be doing is authority jacking. you need to either be going after the news and authority jacking them, or you need to be doing it with celebrities or big people within your niche. If you are not doing things like this, it's one of the reasons that you're not growing, because at the end of the day, all Instagram is trying to do is keep people on the app. The way that they keep people on the app, similar to TikTok and similar to YouTube, is showing them things similar to things that they've seen before in the past. Whether this is a trend, whether this is a type of video, which is exactly why memes do absolutely amazing on Instagram right now, because they're shareable types of content. You guys need to be focused on putting out shareable types of content or doing things that are recognizable to people. For example, there's a trend going on right now where somebody driving like crazy, and then there's Hezbollah and somebody saying that, this is so-and-so. For example, I saw one recently that said this is Rihanna's baby inside of her belly during the Super Bowl because it's going crazy, and you can literally do that for anything. I see people do it for politics all the time. I see people do it in fitness all the time. I see people do it within a bunch of different things. And another thing that works great is if you do something like do a post where it's your POV and then you have a meme at the end of it. This is another one of those things that gets a lot of engagement, gets a lot of shares. It represents an actual community, and it has a potential audience of 100,000 views, which is why it gets 100,000 or more views. For a lot of you guys, you have to be asking yourself the question, is this something 100,000 people will actually be interested in? And you need to be taking that seriously, because if you're not doing that, it's one of the reasons that you're not getting that many views. Now, if you want to get guaranteed followers on Instagram right now, you need to get into my mentorship program, where I'm literally going to guarantee that I help you get more followers on Instagram, or you get your money back 0 questions asked. The way that I make this work, and you can go to the link in the description to sign up for it right now, is I'm going to tell you what to post, when to post, what hashtags to use. Make sure that you're staying on top of the trends and the actual posts that are working within your niche. We're going to critique your hooks, and we're going to critique your content to guarantee that you get more followers. At the end of the 30 days, if you didn't grow more on Instagram, you are going to get your money back, 0 questions asked. If you're trying to grow on Instagram to make money, trying to grow your business on Instagram, trying to just get a large following on Instagram, or maybe you just want to get more views every single time that you post, this is the program for you. Take the guesswork out of it. You can go through and try to learn what's going to work, try to keep watching YouTube videos, but that's going to take an incredibly long time. Just skip the line. I'll tell you what to post, when to post, and everything else to guarantee that you get more followers on Instagram. And again, if you don't get more followers at the end of the 30 days, you get your money back, 0 questions asked. There's absolutely no risk for signing up. Please, if you want to get into that, go to the link in the description of this video, or watch the next 2 videos I put up on the screen, because they're the videos YouTube thinks you should watch next. Thank you so much for watching.